My name is Alinco. I'm the host of Progressive Mind Show. Tonight we are doing a collaboration with Red Heart Radio FM, and this is going to be an epic one. This evening we heard an outstanding speech from Her Excellency. You may have seen her speeches on YouTube, but this evening was outstanding. Your Excellency, good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for having me. My name is Ambassador Dr. Arikana Chihombori-Quao. I'm the AU Ambassador to the United States.
Brilliant. We know, as an African, I know what the African Union is, and we also know that it started with the concept of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, which is the Organization of African Unity, and it transformed to AU. Can you tell us a little bit about this organization?
The African Union is a union of the 55 African heads of states. It was created for the sole purpose of undoing the damage that was done to the continent by the Berlin Conference. The Berlin Conference saw our Africa divided into the many tiny little countries that we are today. It is not a situation that can be sustained. The only way for Africa to take a rightful place on the world stage is when Africa speaks with one voice. As Africa, we are a heavyweight. We belong to the heavyweight boxing ring with other heavyweight countries.
One of the reasons why you came here is that you said you chose the city of Chicago to be the 6th region. Can you tell us what the 6th region is and why you chose the city of Chicago?
The 6th region actually is what the African Union has claimed African Union has designated all people of African descent living outside Africa as the 6th region.
Okay.
On the continent, we have 5 regions, which is North Africa, Southern Africa, East Africa, West Africa, and Central. And then the children in the diaspora are the 6th region.
Now,
and so we are opening chapters in various states, including South America, Caribbean, and then my counterparts in Europe are going to work on also uniting and organizing the 6th region in Europe. Yes.
Okay, so how long have you been working as AU ambassador to the States?
Since December of 2016.
Okay, brilliant. Now, what has been your challenge playing this role? Because you had mentioned that you are a medical doctor by profession.
That's correct.
And prior to this, you had no diplomat experience. And so when you were called to do this, you were resistant from the beginning. However, when you got into it, you saw the need for doing this. Would you say that there had been extreme challenges for you to pursue the goals that you want for the African people across the globe?
What I do realize, the real challenge for me is the shackles of the mind among us Africans. And I say Africans, meaning all people of African descent on the continent and outside the continent. The challenge is the shackles of the mind. No matter how much we strategize, no matter how much money we pull together, if we're still suffering from the legacy of colonization, the legacy of slavery, nothing is going to change. The shackles of the mind must go.
We have launched the Chicago chapter. Can you mention other chapters that you have initiated?
Yes, we have the Texas chapter. We have a chapter in Atlanta, the Georgia chapter. We have a chapter in Delaware. We have sensitized Minneapolis, Minnesota. We're just left with the official launch. We have sensitized North Carolina. We are also left with the launch. We have sensitized Massachusetts in Boston. We're also left with the official launch. We did launch Harlem a couple of weeks ago. We have a pending launch of Queens and Brooklyn.
Lastly, can you expand a little bit on the Wakanda project?
Wakanda is an idea that was born out of the realization that the brain drain that has occurred over the years cannot be sustained, and that there is a need for us Africans in the diaspora to reverse the brain drain. Africa, money alone is not enough to develop Africa. What is needed is also capacity. But we need to build the capacity that Africa needs in order to build the Africa that we want. So Wakanda, these are African diaspora centers of excellence designed to build the capacity that Africa needs. The trainers to train what is needed are in the diaspora. So in Wakanda is where we are going to converge and build the capacity that Africa needs in order for the children of Africa in the diaspora, in collaboration with their brothers on the continent, to build the Africa that we want.
Our time is up. Lastly, Red Heart Radio FM is what is the media that is helping us do this interview to reach the very masses. We understand that your goal and your vision that you have for Africans across the globe. So would you agree with me that we need our own media platform that would keep transmitting this type of information on a daily basis? Of course, we understand that there'll be hindrances, but you think that it's very prudent for us to have our own media platform where we can be having these conversations day in, day out?
That has been our biggest failure,
okay.
Our inability to tell our own stories.
Right.
Our stories are always being told by others. It's the case of the hunter and the hunted. Until the hunted begins to tell their story, we're always going to hear the story from the viewpoint of the hunter. Africans must tell. We must tell our own stories. We must have our own media outlets. We need to tell the world about who we are and not sit back and expect the world to tell us about us. It's ridiculous. It's insanity of the highest order. We need to change it.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. This evening, I have been speaking with the ambassador of the African Union to the United States of America, Her Excellency Ambassador Dr. Arikana Chihombori-Quao. Quao is a Ghanaian name, and I'm Ghanaian, so, there's a connection there. Wonderful. It's been Alinco with the Progressive Minds again and collaborating with Red Heart Radio FM. Have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.